Peace and love, South Africa. So the reason why we say Cyril Ramaphosa is a puppet is because I'll just give a brief overview, even a smaller history of South Africa, contemporary South African history. Cyril Ramaphosa's exposure to politics began when he got a scholarship by the Oppenheimers or the De Beers company that produced actually third quarters of the world gold in the 1800s. Now, after that, he studied law in the University of South Africa, UNISA. After law, obviously, you need to serve an apprenticeship in the Oppenheimer firm as a legal secretary. After that, of course, some might ask, why would this guy be picked up by the Oppenheimers? Because in most countries, for example, Cyril Ramaphosa's father was an apartheid policeman. So most black apartheid policemen were promised that they will do everything for their family as long as they help capture freedom fighters. So that's how we got to be picked. So as a result, he developed business interests. Ramaphosa wanted to become a rich black man, but that was not going to be helpful during the time, because after the 1983 tricameral parliament that included whites, Indians, and coloreds, under the exclusion of blacks, in 1984, Oliver Tambo wanted to they declared that they were going to hold South Africa ungovernable. And then in the same year, in 1985, international banks started declining and revoking South African loans. So that's when P.W. Botha declared a state of emergency. As a result, they started to talk to the likes of your Nelson Mandela. If you remember, 1986, Zizi Mandela, Nelson Mandela's firstborn, I believe, gave a speech saying that Nelson Mandela was given a conditional release, and then he was rejecting the conditional release. So as a result, a man called Kobe Coetzee started secret negotiations with Nelson Mandela from 1986. And then before that, in 1985, a man called, Jerry, I'm not sure if it's Jerry of Anglo-American, meets with Oliver Tambo and the ANC in Lusaka, Zambia, where the ANC was exiled. And the same year in 1986, that's when National Union of Mine Workers was introduced at the behest of capital. That's when Ramaphosa built his political credentials. He then, in 1990, he joins the ANC, African National Congress. 1991, on the National Conferences, he becomes the ANC Secretary General. In the same year, he became the chief negotiator during CODESA's negotiations. As a result, they pulled him and Wolf Meyer together in order to adopt the Roman Dutch law to run a South African government. And then in 1996, it was declared one of the most powerful constitutions in the planet, especially that it was supposed to address past imbalances, but there was no redress of anything whatsoever. In 1996, Cyril Ramaphosa leaves politics to go into business, to get orientation. Then he's pushed back in 1998 to become the chair, to chair the Black Economic Empowerment Policy, where they wanted to consolidate all the black political elites in order to protect white interests of capital. Because, around 1998, Nelson Mandela was no longer president, although he was officially removed from power in 1999. From 1997, Thabo Mbeki was already the president. So out of the fear, the BEE economic policy was not actually for empowerment. And then you've got Ramaphosa in 2002 establishing an investment firm at the behest of capital. Later on, I'm not sure if it's 2008 or 9, it's 2011 actually, not mistaken. Ramaphosa become a black empowerment partner of the Standard Bank, him and Makozoma. So now, in the interest of all this, you still give him presidency. So the question is, are South Africans seriously interested in liberation, in freedom, in independence, in the right to self-determination, kujichagulia? Because you are giving a man a presidential position on the pretext that this man is a businessman, but he himself have never even run any successful business. So then you ask yourself, are we psychologically okay for us to even say we have a problem with load shedding? No, we don't have a problem with load shedding. We appreciate load shedding. We appreciate electricity hikes. We appreciate capital giving us mandate. Because for as long as you continue to vote for that man, you are responsible for your own demise. Peace and love.